Hey guys, welcome to Fantasy Tipped. Max here with you for the weekend ads for week 2 of the fantasy hockey season, where I will be giving you the best options for the end of this week. We have a light schedule on the off days, therefore only 2 games on Friday, only 2 games on Sunday, and a staggering 15 games on Saturday, where only the New Jersey Devils and the Calgary Flames are not playing. First up, we'll start with the Friday and Saturday section. At number 1, we have Matthew Barzal. I was really surprised to see that he's only 64% rostered. This is a guy that's had an 85-point season before. He's only 26 years old. Lock him up as the number 1 option for Friday, Saturday. He definitely has the highest ceiling. Right under him, we have Boone Jenner. Every year is the same damn story. Only 49% rostered. This guy eats pucks for breakfast. He shoots, he hits, he blocks, and he plays with 2 of the most talented players on his team in Johnny Hockey and Kirill Marchenko. Lock up Boone Jenner. You'll see him at the top of waiver wire lists all year long. Up next, a little more low-key pick in Cal Palmieri. The Islanders have scored 4 goals this season. Palmieri has been on the ice for 3 of them, totaling 2 points. Plays PP1 and on the second line with Brock Nelson. We also have Kirill Marchenko completing that Gaudreau and Jenner line. We learned that he can actually pass the puck. He has 3 assists in 3 games this season after piling up above 20 goals and just a handful of assists last season. We also have highly rostered rookie Adam Fantilli. He slips in my rankings since he's only on the PP2, and I'm not sure how the whole first line of Columbus with Alex Texier and Patrick Laine in the middle will do. Tread carefully. Yes, he is on the first line, but Fantilli is not my number 1 option for this weekend. Anders Lee started this season very cold. He's servicing the 3rd line on the New York Islanders team with PP2 usage. He remains a sharp goal scorer, but lack of peripherals scare me a little bit. And finally, as much as that first line in Columbus raises questions, Alex Texier at 1% is a great depth piece for deeper league managers who don't have many options. Fantilli and Laine are offensively gifted, and Texier could benefit from his role. And finally, Cats League legends, JG Pajot closes out this segment's ranking. Pointless so far, but always putting in work. This guy wins a lot of faceoffs, he hits, he blocks shots, and he's also the PP2 center. Up next, we have the Friday and Sunday segment, which is the most important in this video. The Calgary Flames are the only team not to play Saturday, but also playing Friday and Sunday. A little bonus is they play Thursday as well. And sure, they don't play at home, but they're not facing defensive juggernauts in Buffalo, Columbus, and Detroit. Your weekend steal is probably right here. Number 1, Andrew Mangiapane, not a big fan of him. In fact, one of the first hockey arguments me and Julian got into was about Mangiapane. Fast forward a year later, he's producing at a point per game pace to start the season, completing Lindholm and Huberdeau. In my books, he went from a drop candidate to an important depth piece for fantasy managers. He'll need to keep up his point production because you won't see a lot of peripherals from him. His teammate Nazem Kadri is centering the second line, and he's having an horrible beginning of the season. A lot of impatient fantasy managers have already dropped. I picked him up after 2 games thinking, haha, what a steal. When I tuned in to the Calgary Flames game, what I saw was atrocious. It was terrible, but the thing is, this guy's still a Stanley Cup caliber second line center, and the points will come. Be patient. Watching the Flames play, by the way, Noah Hanifin was the player who stood out the most and the most improved defenseman out of that corpse. I know he is in PP1, that's Anderson's spot, but I think Hanifin, if he keeps this up, could hit the 60-point mark. After that, elite offensive aptitudes, Matt Coronado plays on the third line, has PP1 usage, and if you see guys in your leagues go for more household names like Backlund and Coleman, don't stress, Matt Coronado is the play here. I've personally scooped him up, therefore I am on the Coronado train this weekend and I invite you to jump on. And I invite you to jump aboard as well. Backlund has no points in the first 3 games of the season, but his 23 minutes of time on ice from last game is very encouraging. Points should be coming as well. We also have the 2 second-line wingers in Dubé and Ruzicka. Secondary options in Calgary. They've showed flashes of brilliance last year. Their progression is consistent, and both got 2 points last game. They're some of my favorite options to stream for deeper leagues this weekend due to scheduling. And finally, Blake Coleman, more of a Cats League streamer, gives a little bit of everything, shots, hits, blocks, but he's only really valuable if his name ends up on the score sheet. For Saturday and Sunday, we've got 3 teams, the Anaheim Ducks, the Boston Bruins, and the Detroit Red Wings. Only 2 of those teams also play Thursday, that's Anaheim and Boston. Number 1, Pavel Zacha, still pointless through 2 games, but that's about to change. The guy's playing with David Pastrnak. We should see statistical correlation this weekend. He plays on the first power play, plays with one of the best goal scorers in the National Hockey League. Therefore, he's my number 1 spot for Saturday and Sunday. Lucas Raymond plays on the first line with DeBrincat and Larkin. Also, very nice shot volume, good option in Detroit. The guy who completes Zacha and Pastrnak is Jake DeBrusk at 68%. No hits, no blocks, no points so far, but 6 shots. The points are coming there as well. Troy Terry with his 2 consecutive seasons above 61 points. Ducks were scoring goals for fun against Carolina earlier this week on home turf. I don't know if they're going to keep this up, but Troy Terry should see his name on the score sheet one of these days. From that Anaheim team, I feel like there's such a buzz around the brilliance of Zegras, Jamie Drysdale coming back, Leo Carlson's arrival that we tend to slightly overlook Mason McTavish. The guy's a 3rd overall pick for a reason. He had a modest 43 points in his rookie season, and right now he's already up to 3 points in 2 games. He's looked dynamic and he's always involved in the play. James Van Riemsdyk, GVR, only 4% rostered, is a steal right now. He's the right wing PP1 option with Pastrnak drawing back to the point and Marchand getting the left wing spot. He already has 2 goals with the man advantage this week. I expect his rostered percentage to skyrocket. This guy will be utilized in Boston as a net front presence and will put the puck in the back of the net regularly. 7 and 8, we have GT Compher and Andrew Kopp. The linesmates have a solid beginning to the season. Compher has 4 points in 3 games, 4 blocks. He wins faceoffs without being a center. Andrew Kopp has 2 points, 13 shots, 5 blocks. He obviously wins faceoffs. They both play on the PP2. They both play on the penalty kill. They are very good options. Fresh off a hat trick, Frank Vetrano normally brings a high shot volume and the occasional point, but this year he also helps out in hits and blocks. He should be seeing slight regression soon, but feel free to ride the hot hand if no one else is available. His linesmate, Ryan Strome, looks so much better compared to last year. He's one of the few guys who's eligible for a big bounce back season. And even though I'm not sold entirely yet, he's a decent streaming option this weekend. Right after, we have Daniel Sprong, who, I don't know if you guys know, he scored in 4 consecutive preseason games to make the team in Detroit. And guess what? When the season started, he scored in consecutive games before being shut out by the Columbus Blue Jackets. He is a sneaky streamer, and he plays on the 3rd line with fellow Montrealers Joe Veleno and David Perron. He's the type of low-rostered player that can go off at any time. And finally, keep a close eye out for Leo Carlsson's NHL debut, which should be soon. Not a big fan of rookies normally, but this season, the likes of Logan Cooley, Connor Bedard, and Zach Benson all had productive debuts. And we'll close out this segment with two Boston Bruins centers in Charlie Coyle and Matthew Poitras. Now on to defensemen. As said previously, Noah Hanifin doesn't play PP1, but he is the number one option for defensemen this weekend due to strength of schedule. A PP1 defenseman that took Zach Werenski's job in Columbus since he went down is Ivan Provorov. Good stream, solid power play, elite shot blocker. My third defenseman is Pavel Mintyukov, only 1% rostered. Guess what? He's PP1 in Anaheim, above Jamie Drysdale and Cam Fowler. 3 hits, 5 blocks in 2 games. Add him up comfortably. His teammate Cam Fowler lost the PP1 spot but still plays above 23 minutes per game. Another good option in Anaheim. We also have Shane Gostisbehere, PP1 in Detroit with Sider. He has a point in each of his first 3 games this season, and he is proving doubters wrong. Jake Wallman is on the PP2 of that same Detroit team, but already has 2 power play points this season. On top of that, he's racking blocks up. He already has 10 on the season, and he plays about 20 minutes per game on the first pair with Sider. Another Anaheim Ducks defenseman, Jamie Drysdale. Welcome back, Jamie. He's lost his power play place, but he stays relevant early on. He's got 2 points in 2 games, and his ceiling is extremely high. He doesn't need power play to produce, and he is an elite defenseman in the making. Deeper leagues only now, David Jiricek. If you've seen him play, you know why he's here. His peripherals should go up as well in terms of hits and blocks based on pre-NHL results. We have yet to see, but I expect him to do well all across the board. And finally, Kevin Shattenkirk as a PP2 option rounds up this segment. Now let's get to the goalies this week. Dan Vladar is my number one option. I think he plays at Columbus on Sunday. He had an inconsistent season last year, but with Dustin Wolf pushing for the second goalie spot in Calgary, the leash is very short for Dan Vladar, so it's not out of the ordinary to expect him to start off strong. Right under him, we have Semyon Varlamov, who's either playing against New Jersey or at Buffalo, who are 2 scary teams to play against when you stream a goalie. But the Islanders play a sound defensive game, and Varlamov should be a nice option to lean on this weekend. We also have James Reimer, who should be playing his first game of the season against Calgary on Sunday, against a tired Calgary team, might I add, who plays 3 games in 4 nights. Husso gets the tougher matchup, in my opinion, in Ottawa. Reimer will be in a good spot to stream on Sunday. And finally, John Gibson and Luka Dostal are both playing Arizona and Boston. We should wait and see who's playing who to rank them accordingly. I'm not sure the Ducks win one of these games this weekend, but both goalies should be able to give you plenty of saves and plenty of fantasy points if you're in need of goalie starts and are desperate. Now on to categories. First up, we have the shots. Andrew Kopp this season is averaging 4.66 shots a game. Lock him up. The rest of the players I will mention will go with the average of last year. We have Boone Jenner at 3.15, Frank Vetrano 2.85, Matt Coronado last year in a small sample size had 4 shots a game, Kadri at 3.26, Backlund at 3.17, Troy Terry 2.69, Anders Lee 2.61, and David Perron at 2.38. For blocked shots, we have Ben Sherrod this weekend averaging 2.14, Provorov, who's a great stream option this weekend, averages 2, Gudbranson at 1.96, Jake Wallman at 1.92. We have Jeff Petrie, who's been in and out of the lineup, at 1.82, Adam Pelech at 1.8, and David Jiricek at 1.75 in a small sample size. For hits, we have King Gudas at 4.3, Cal Clutterbuck and Matt Martin at 4 and 3.6. Jeff Petry's back on this list as well at 3.1. Klim Kostin 2.8. Sean Kuraly 2.6. And Alex Romanov and Pajot at 2.6, 2.5 on the Islanders. As for faceoffs, Boone Jenner, I told you guys, this guy's so valuable. 11.2 per game. JG Pajot, 10.3. GT Comfer, 9.9. Backlund at 8.6. Sean Kuraly, Andrew Kopp at 8. Nazem Kadri, 7.2. Casey Cizikas at 6.2. Adam Henrique, 5.5. And finally, Morgan Geekie at 4.3. Thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way through. I hope it helps you guys. I wish you nothing but victories early on this season, and we will see each other soon. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to our channel if you like the content, and enjoy the weekend.